Welcome, Reckless Wanderers. This is Robert again with the final update for my Cyclone Berserker, who reached level 92 when I decided to retire him. Basically, this is already a clip from last week, so this was basically 2 weeks into the league where I finally reached Shaper, not entirely on my own. I decided to not trade with the character, and I did not, and I got 2 Shaper fragments on my own, but then for the final 2 I just didn't have the time to farm up the remaining ones, and the maps just didn't drop that I needed, so I purchased the remaining 2 fragments just to give a shot at the fight itself, and then to start a new character, because I have a few other projects that I want to go through, and yeah, I don't have unlimited time to play, unfortunately. So the footage that you're seeing here is the level 92 Berserker with entirely self-found gear and on a 5-link, and as you can see, the damage is anything but impressive, but still able to take Shaper out sort of comfortably if you don't make stupid mistakes like jumping into 3 of the bullet hell balls just after the bullet phase ended. But all in all, a very capable character, had tons of fun. Red maps were a breeze. Legion content was very enjoyable, although due to the self-found gear, not really able to clear legions entirely. But yeah, definitely very fun character, very fun to play, very tanky if you play it correctly. And yeah, super enjoyable, very first Berserker that I played. Back to the character itself, one more change that I made before actually going into Shaper. I was lucky enough through a incubator to drop a Elder Glorious plate, which I then essence crafted with a pristine and a serrated fossil, I believe, to get the life and the maim on there. It's unfortunately, the life roll is super low. It's actually hybrid, so it's like 36 life and 42 maximum life combined to 78 with a 4% roll. So that's kind of scuffed. Also, I threw like 50 fusings on that and landed on a 5-link, and then decided to stop over there. So I had my 5-link Cyclone with Malefice, Brutality, Pulverize, and Impale, and then the Hiltless still unchanged with Bar Double Strike, Increased Duration, Ruthless, Impale, and Close Combat. And passive tree-wise, the only thing that I added on was the Adamant Cluster, and the next levels, if I would continue to level this character, would definitely be picking up jewel sockets to fit in some more jewel stuff. But like I said, I decided to stop this character in favor for a new project, which is a revival of the Detonate Dead Chieftain, because Chieftain was changed quite significantly. Unfortunately, we completely lost the ability to taunt with totems, but still, it's a very nice character that's insanely different from what other characters are these days. Unfortunately, it's not very well suited for clear speed meta. So when I first played this character, when I came up with it, that was during the Abyss League 3.1, and Abyss was sort of not really clear speed required, so you could play it really slow, and that's also what this character is meant to be. So it's actually my chill and relax character, so I can like watch something on the side or listen to a podcast and don't worry about like charges running out or any stacks to lose or something like that. So, and I actually decided when it came to the flask setup to not use a Quicksilver flask, which is like, it's super insane. Like you would never do that. But yeah, like I said, this is my chillax character, and even though it's not meant for clear speed, it can actually free, let's say, like half of a legion in a tier 10 comfortably. The character is now level 78, I think. And I'm getting wrecked here by both Legion and Betrayal, which is kind of interesting. But I think we are sort of safe now, although we're getting deleted by these guys. Let's quickly finish up that fight and then pick up where I was left explaining. There we go. Okay, so very chillax character. The playstyle is basically you put your totems down and then you need some corpses. So the obvious choice is to go with Desecrate with Spell Cascade because it creates 15 high-level corpses that can then be exploded. However, I decided for my corpse generator to be Unearth with a GMP and faster casting. Although the corpses are lower level, this helps me to trigger Elemental Overload as this is a non-crit build. So in terms of Ascendancy, the strongest one reason why this is a very chillax character to play is Tukohama's War's Herald, because totems are actually able to leech, and the leech affects the totem as well as yourself. And then going Ramako and Hinekora gives very nice regen and even more leech, and also with the chance to cover rare and unique enemies in Ash, that makes it so that you actually have some decent single target. For the final Ascendancy, if I actually manage to get to 5k life, I want to go Arahungui to get a little bit more quality of life, to be able to run reflect maps, and yeah, it's another 16% damage multiplier. And the passive tree itself, I again opted to go for a blood magic setup because the totems are kind of expensive, 94 mana cost right now, and if you spam the totems, it doesn't really matter too much if you have blood magic, but if you're on mana, it becomes very uncomfortable. I did pick up, of course, Mortal Conviction, and the aura I'm currently running is Haste, because I do want to get all the cast speed in the world, which is also why I do have a lightning totem, golem, if I don't forget to cast him. This makes it so that I can't run chain maps, but I wouldn't want to do this anyway if I have totems out, so there's that. Obviously the build doesn't work without the helmet enchant. Detonated has 45% chance to detonate an additional corpse, so this character unfortunately does not work in a sort of self-found environment. So this is a white helmet that I traded and then like landed a lucky elk, I guess. It's not super crazy. Planning on getting something nicer in the future. Another item that's sort of required to squeeze a little bit more damage out is the Clear Mind Jewel. This one is terribly rolled because it's the absolute low end, but it was very cheap, and maybe if I have the patience, I'm gonna trade for another one at some point. Other than that, skill tree very generic, so we path to the south here to pick all this stuff up. Also there's a totem cluster over here, and I'm gonna make my way into Soul of Steel, obviously. All the life here is very important. Then went into the Templar for Amplify, because this is all good area damage. Still need to pick up the life over here, life over there, Ancestral Bond obviously. Then into Elemental Overload, Totem Cluster over here, and then Heart of Flame for penetration. I'm focusing quite a lot on Fire Pen since it's a non-crit build. It's, I guess, the thing that gives me the most damage. For the skill setup, I'm experimenting with something a little bit different, like I did in Abyss, so Detonate That, obviously Spell Totem, then again more Fire Penetration, Combustion, no-brainer, Control Destruction, no-brainer, and then the sixth link, that's the experimental one. Right now I'm running Immolate, because Detonate That has a 160% damage effectiveness, so that gets scaled up quite a bit. And the flat damage with all these spell damage that I'm picking up on the tree and that I'm intending to use on the items is very important. Speaking of the items, let me quickly go back to show you this. This is the reason why I'm having such a weird chest plate. So I was running a lab just earlier this day, and I went into the... It was a jeweler's room and just ran in there, and then where was it? It was over here. Yeah, I think it was over here. Completely randomly killed that rare, or that guy over there. I think it was a guy over there. And there it is. Like actually 6-linked chest piece. Never happened to me ever before. Very first time this happens to me in PoE. Since I don't have a carcass check yet, I just take it, threw Essence of Greed on it, and then crafted the percentage life on it. Life is very low since I rushed all the damage passives on the tree, and now just working my way into the Scion life wheel, and then I will also pick up Discipline and Training and also Bloodless, and I should reach 6 to 7k life comfortably, hopefully. So that's the one project that I'm having. Let me just go quickly back to the hideout. And then there's another project that I'm currently working on, which is a Spectral Shield Throw Deadeye. And that's nothing special, that's just something that a colleague of mine recently started playing PoE, and we're doing the together with another colleague, we're doing a three-man party, and we're doing the standard free-to-play experience. So I have 4 stash tabs that are standard stash tabs, and I try to go through the game with nothing else but with what we find. Also, like no trade, nothing. The only thing that I had to get to make Spectral Shield Throw somewhat good is the Divide and Conquer jewel, but everything else will just be made up as we go. And that's it for the current update. So I will probably make more videos about the Detonate Dead character, because I'm trying to push endgame with that as much as I can. I successfully killed Shaper with it back in Abyss League, so I know that this is possible and I want to repeat that again. I'm not so sure this guy can take on Uber Elder, but I'm definitely going to try, and it's going to be very interesting. So that's for that. I hope you had a wonderful time, will have a wonderful time, and I see you on the next video. Bye bye.